Arroz con Pollo. They are skeletons, naked inside and naked outside. They sit down to eat naked. Jean-Michel has made his favorite dish, Arroz con Pollo. His Puerto Rican mother taught him to make it. Suzanne is white. She holds her left breast with her right hand. Her other hand holds a fork. Across the table, Jean-Michel is black. He wears a red Mexican charro hat as he gives Suzanne a plate of steaming chicken. Beside Suzanne is the word tar. They can see inside of each other's bodies. Jean-Michel can see Suzanne's teeth and an almond-shaped vagina. Suzanne can see his ribs and shoulder joints. This is a painting, Arroz con Pollo, 1981, acrylic and oil paint stick on canvas, 68 by 84. One of the hardest things to describe about Jean is his elegance. There was something so beautiful about the way he moved and spoke. This partly had to do with his drug use that kept him very slim and childlike. But it was innate also. I was also very slim and waif-like. We looked like 12-year-olds. What most people don't understand about Jean-Michel is that his crazy behavior had nothing to do with being an enfant terrible. Everything he did was an attack on racism, and I loved him for this. I also understood racism. My mother tried to get me to bleach my skin. She never wanted me to go out in the sun. She said I was too Arab-looking. I remember that in high school, I wanted to play the part of Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz. I practiced singing the songs for weeks, and my voice was the best in the school. They gave the part to another girl because they said my skin was too dark. I remember that I came home and wept. My mother said, "Susie, well, they're right." No black men in museums. One Thursday in 1982, Jean-Michel tells Suzanne to stand up and walk. They are going to the MoMA. He tells Suzanne to wear his clothes. She ties his pants around her waist with a rope. His sweater hangs down to her knees. At the museum, Jean-Michel takes a bottle of water out of his coat and walks through the halls, sprinkling the water here and there around him. "I'd piss like a dog if I could," he says, as they wander past paintings by Pollock, Picasso, Klein, and Braque. Suzanne does not even ask what he is doing. She knows this is one of his voodoo tricks. "There are no black men in museums," he says. "Try counting." Suzanne can't find even one. "This is another white man's cotton plantation," he explains. When they get back home, Jean-Michel puts on a Charlie Parker tape and tells Suzanne to be very quiet. It begins to rain outside, a slow, dark rain that will not stop for 3 days. Jean-Michel paints St. Joe Louis surrounded by snakes. It shows the boxer slumped down after a fight, surrounded by a group of sinister-looking white men. Joe Louis is painted with a halo over his head, and the paint drips from his name like blood falling down the canvas. I realized he must have been to the MoMA millions of times. I had no idea. I never knew when he went. He never mentioned it to me. I knew that his mother had taken him to museums. Jean knew every inch of that museum, every painting, every room. I was astonished at his knowledge and intelligence, and how twisted and unexpected his observations could be. I remember he had a book on Renoir that he loved. Once I asked him why, and he said, "Because they are so violent." I argued with him and said that he was wrong, that the painting showed placid French country life. He said I was stupid. He opened the book and showed me the painting of Mademoiselle Romain Lacour. "Those red flowers," he said, "are blood in her hands." Then he showed me the Sicilies and said, "You can just tell he hates her." Finally, he opened a page at Une Odalisque, the one of the harem woman, and Jean said, "Look, she's about to fart." His favorite painters were Klein and Twomley, especially Twomley. Jean said that Twomley taught him that he could scratch things out on the canvas. And of course he loved comic books, which were a great inspiration to him. It made me so happy that he had taken me with him to the MoMA to do his spell with the water. It was really quite funny watching him sprinkle water everywhere, making sure the guards weren't watching, and looking around and up at the ceiling to see if any cameras were on him. He did not think it was funny, though. Jean did it with great seriousness, like a priest.